All right, welcome everyone. This is a Viper Professional Training and Sport webinar. Today's date is April 24th, 2018. This is a Tuesday night webinar, and the title of tonight's webinar is How to Use the Region Box for Great Trades. And as everyone knows that's been to our webinars or our live trading room, everything that we say and do at Viper Trading Systems is for educational purposes only. Futures trading, Forex trading, any kind of financial instruments trading involves risk. Therefore, there's always risk of loss. You should only trade discretionary capital, and that is money that you can afford to lose. Nothing said in this webinar. Other webinars we have, our live trading room, or anything else with Viper Trading Systems should never be construed as trading or investment advice. And as always, everyone does trade at their own sole discretion. Any questions on the disclaimer? If not, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. I don't see any questions, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, does everybody know, everybody that's in the room tonight, I'm sure does, do most of you know for sure, how to use Object Trader pretty much through and through? Because if you don't, there's a video book that is just strictly its videos. We got to the point, instead of writing manuals, that seem to change and everything, that a video book's a lot easier. And I think it's even easier to use as far as that goes too. So your video ebook is on our website under your member login. I'm logged in under my member login. So you just scroll down to right here where it says Object Trader Video Ebook. Okay, I won't highlight it because it's in purple. I don't know why it's in purple, but it is. Object Trader Video Ebook, and it was updated on January 26, 2018. Okay, and that's this ebook that I'm showing right here. So what we're going to be going over tonight is a little bit more how to use the Object Trader on the region. And I'm going to actually start putting this in order in training for new people that come in. That way, if they want to know how to use the region, they can come to this webinar, or they can even go to the ebook and see little videos. But this webinar is going to be strictly on the region trading. Okay, now this ebook starts out just like you start Object Trader. When you start Object Trader, you right click on your chart and you set up a strategy, right? So you want to know about your parameters. Okay, so that's in the ebook right there. You want to know about how to use the LE, SE, and RE. I'm going to explain all that tonight on the object types. And you've even got auto trades on it. And it's even got abilities to use, mid-band trend. Not on the region, it doesn't, okay? But then you go to object types, and this is what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about how to activate a region. When Charles, quite often, and I say, box it in, that's what we're actually doing. We're boxing it in. Now, I know in Charles's webinar, he doesn't actually use Object Trader in the webinars. He usually just draws a box. And that's fine. It's the same thing, but I'm going to show you how to actually use it with using the Object Trader. Okay. We're going to talk about using the T and B buttons tonight. We're going to talk about using the touch and close and touch plus and close plus and how to use it. Sizing and moving your region while it's live. Very important on that one, because you don't have to just be stuck with where the region draws. Okay. You can add on trades with a region. You can scale out with a region. And you can even auto trade a region. Okay. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, what I want to show first off, real quick though, because if you were using a region, looking at this chart right here, what would you be using the region as? Would you be turning on longs? Or would you mostly be looking for shorts on this particular chart? And it's real important to know that, because we're retracement traders. We like these retracements into a resistance area. Absolutely, it's short, isn't it? I mean, if you look at this whole thing, you've got a high way up here, a low, a lower high because it takes out this swing, a lower high because it takes out this swing, a lower high because it takes out this swing. Now, is there a lower high yet on my chart here? So when you're trading, you can actually draw your line on that previous swing. That's the left side of the chart. And this is the right side of the chart, but we haven't taken out this swing yet. Okay, but we haven't taken out this swing to change directions either. Okay, so if you look at this chart, what's your overall trend? Anybody? Pretty sideways, isn't it? But isn't that still a downtrend? I mean, if you look over here, you have a high, a low, a lower high, and a much lower low. You're not taking out this high here, so you're getting a lower high. You know, they haven't established it yet. This may be established here, you know, once they decide to take this out, if they do. Or they're going to take this out and head up, right? So when we're trading, we need to know, first off, what we're going to do with that region. You know, are we going to turn on longs and shorts? Or are we going to be looking for instance, in this case, you know, pretty much a downtrend, right? Now, let's look and see where the prices are actually right this very moment. Okay. Now, does anybody see where you could actually draw a region on this chart? Anybody want to speak up and say where it might be? Because this is actually a typical, you know, area of retracement that you're going to want to be using those regions. Now, since you've got support right down here, would you be wanting to go for a gusto trade, or are you wanting to go for more of a, you know, possibly scalping? Right? Okay, because if you're sideways like this, if you walk into your trading computer and you're seeing this right here, you know, unless we break up and pull back and kiss and take off, we're not really looking for anything more than, you know, pretty much in this area right through here so far, right? Pretty much right through there. Okay, so we're actually going to be shorting resistance, right? And we're going to be collecting our coin at supports, or if lightning gets taken out. Okay, so the most important thing, of course, is to diagnose your charts right off the bat. It's super important, believe me, because, you know, how many times have you been in a scalp and you know, you seem to be doing okay, and then all of a sudden it just goes against you, and then you hang with it thinking that it's going to be going your way, and it doesn't, because basically you're going against the trend. Okay, because when you're shorting, you're not shorting way down here. You're shorting at these retracement levels. Okay, in other words, something like this, even, you know, we're not going to use the wedge tool, but that's kind of what you're looking at, isn't it? Okay, so isn't this like a little region right through here? You know, and you could even include this right here, because you're going to try to get down, if you can, to a previous support level or another support level. Okay, and you just simply, when you're in sideways mode like this, you're going to basically scalp this. And remember last week I showed you how to do scalping on Object Trader? Let me show you our little Object Trader here real quick. Now this is what the chart looks like in real time. Now see how we diagnose that perfectly? There's that swing right there. Has it taken it out yet? What if it just barely takes it out and rolls over? Would that be a long? And the answer is no. Because what you're going to want to do, if this is going to really head up, it's really got to take this line out, come back and kiss, and take off. And you won't be in this sideways stuff. You'll have a green background, and you'll have a green midband too, if that happened. Okay? So tonight we're going to talk about using the region trade. Let's go ahead and fire up the region. And remember last week we did a little template for our scalp. I've got it right now. So all you have to do to actually load this little template is just simply go in here to load, drop the little drop down arrow, and it's on my scalp template. Okay, I don't know why that doesn't show in that when you do that, but it doesn't. Anyway, this is our scalp template, remember, 7, 8, and 10. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using until this thing breaks down or up. Okay, so now the first thing you want to know about your region, and it's really important to know this, is how do you set it up? I get questions all the time like, you know, Gary, I draw a box on my chart, but it won't fire. So they draw a box and then tell me it won't fire. Well, they're watching some of Charles's webinars, evidently, where he boxes it in with the, you know, when you use Object Trader, you have to actually use the region. To box it in here, would mean that you would just simply want to take this trade if it broke this little box, and you'd probably fire a market order. Okay. Is the scalping session on the website, Jeff? It was last Monday, a week ago Monday, not yesterday, but a week ago Monday. Okay. So don't think that, activating your region is just putting a little box on your chart, because it's not. Okay. This box doesn't do anything except draw a box. That's the ninja tool right there. Okay. What we want to do to get our region going is simply put it on region mode, click in your chart to make sure you're in the chart, and then simply hit insert. Okay. Insert will then put a region, and it basically looks at about 3 bars, kind of like a little 1, 2, 3 reversal. Okay, is kind of what it looks at. Now, we're in the process of working on getting a region that will actually draw in real time, and we're probably going to call it like auto region, put it between region and bar close. And the auto region will just simply keep drawing. Like, let's say, for instance, that this region, well, it would have fired, right? But what if it went up a little higher, and then it would have drawn it up here and fired instead? So, it would just keep looking at, your particular trade until you take out a swing or you change the mid-band. So we're going to actually put it with auto features and mid-band features. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. Okay. So now when you put this region on the chart, you've got to know exactly how you want to trade this. Okay. Do I want to take a touch, or do I want to take a close bar? Okay. If you want to take a touch, you just simply click this little button here and say, I want to touch the outside of this region by X ticks. So if I want to do it like by 2 ticks, to give an example, that would be the way I would do it right there. Okay. Now, a region can actually be used any way you want it to be. To give you an example of this, let's say that you were in this huge area right here, and you knew, let's just say that you saw this happening in real time. You said, okay, I've got resistance right up this area, right up in here, like so. But then you see it actually form in real time, and you go, okay, I can actually draw a region. And let's say that you were wanting to trade this big region like this. You can actually even do that too. You just simply set the top to short, okay, and the bottom to either cover or scalp it. Now, when I'm doing red background and red midband, I don't turn on these longs, not normally anyway. Now, I will do like a lightning trade and take a quick scalp, but we're not talking about lightning tonight. Okay. Now, what I'm getting at on this region right here, though, is if you want to actually trade a larger region once it's established, to give an example, see, you've got a low here and a high here, and it's established. So couldn't you trade, either long here to the top or short the top, right? That would do it if you just simply had that turned on and that turned on. It would have been looking at this, it would have fired this one, and it would have fired this one, and it would have fired this one also. Okay, just by drawing this region this large. Okay, now when you're wanting to just box in, though, just simply turn your region on and hit insert. Okay, and we're really basically ready to go because it's right underneath my swing right here. Okay, and I'm strictly going to do a scalp. So let's just see if we can do like 2 contracts and just simply get a scalp. We're going to try it and see. Let's see here. If it comes up higher, like it's already done it, unfortunately, but if it comes up into this area right here, I could actually go ahead and tell it to even short the top. Okay, that might give me a little bit better feel. Okay, because I'm trying to get up to this resistance. But let's fire this up and see what it'll do. I'm going to just put it on about 3 or 4 times. Okay, now that's a region drawn on the chart right there. Now you notice that if I had this turned off, this wouldn't even fire at all. This short enabled has to be turned on. There you go, you just got your trade. Okay, so we're in the trade. We're trying to get 7 and 8 ticks. Let's see if we can. That's $150. We're just going to scalp some regions and see what it does. Now we could also do a runner, but what do we got to do a runner first? Anybody? You got to break these support levels first. And right now you're definitely in a range. Okay. Got 60 bucks so far. See if we get any more. Now we got 20 bucks. Seem like they always do that, don't they? You get 60 or 100 bucks and then they take some of it back. You could put it on 5 ticks if you wanted to. There's a little lower high. Everybody see how that region worked right then? All I simply did was box it in, okay, and my region fired. Notice that it turns this off once it fires, okay? There we go. It looks like we're going to get our trade. Maybe. Let's go ahead and bring our stop right there. Notice why I brought that stop there, because that's your lightning swing. We going to get it or not? Maybe get taken out first. We'll find out. Okay, now let me ask a quick question too. If you're looking at shorts until it takes out that line I've got drawn, would you be wanting breakout trades, or there we go, we got it. Would you be wanting breakout trades, or would you be wanting to sell it at like resistance levels? In other words, if this is going to chop around, we don't know it's going to, but keep in mind, and I'm not going to actually go with the runner until we at least take out this area right across here. Okay, there's no reason to go for a runner until they do that, because so many people will get into a trade and then they'll let it go all the way back against them instead of actually trading it correctly. And when it's in a choppy sideways like this, just scalp it. Let's see if we can get like $300. What we're going to do is we're going to go for another region. We're not going to turn this on yet. We want to see where the region's going to set up. Let's see if we can figure it out. I picked this time of night purposely because I don't actually trade this time of night. I'm not up at 2 o'clock in the morning. But let's see if we can get another trade. We're going to do a region if it does. Can't wait to get this auto region set up. We'll see if we can get a region. Now we already got this trade, so it's got to retrace first. We're not going to chase this trade, by jumping in at a breakout. Okay, we sold the retracement. We're going to try to get a retracement again. Now, by the way, you can go ahead and take your region off the chart if you want at the time. That way you can draw it. For instance, if this does decide to pop up in here, or if it takes out support, now I may be looking for a runner type trade, but not till it gets out of this chop. Okay. Let's speed this up a little bit, see if we can get another region. Because if you're going to trade this stuff here, you really want to do scalping. There we go. We're getting something. Okay, I just missed it. See, I just hit that right there. Didn't have time to set my region up. I'll go ahead and do it anyway, but let's see if we can get a little bit of a box formation first. Let's just see if it'll do it. If we get a bar up and get a little sideways, we'll go ahead and set up another region. I liked it better up here. Now we've got a region, by the way. See it? See the region right there? What do you think? You want to take it? Let's go ahead and do a region. And we'll hit our insert key. And let's see, I just missed it. Let's just go ahead and do it here then instead. I don't like breakout trades, but I'll do it simply because we hit resistance perfectly. Let's see if we get a region. It's got to go up and back down to get a little region. Let's see if we can get one. Lightning. Maybe. I want to show you how to size this in real time. There we go. Look at that. Anybody? How about shorting the top even right up here, like so, or the breakout at the bottom, either way. So if it bounces up here to a resistance level, could even go across here. We'll just go ahead and go for the breakout if it breaks out. Now keep in mind that I'm not turning on longs. Notice that? I don't have a reason to turn on long yet. Okay? Now that's one thing I think that a lot of people end up getting on the wrong side of a trade because they don't diagnose that power, you know, even though this broke here and turned this green, this is not a trend change yet. See, looking to the left to trade the right. Look at your little deal across here. See this swing right there? That has to break that, and it barely did. See that? Now, what were we talking about if we were going to go long? We were talking about it had to break up, pull back and kiss, and then head up again. That would be a trend change to me. Now, this isn't a trend change yet. All they did is kiss resistance, and I tried to short it right here, but unfortunately, we're going to have to short it right here, which is what we're doing with our region. Everybody see that? Let's see, why is B short O? I'll tell you about that, Bill. We already got it. Short O simply means that it's outside the box. Okay, that's what short O means. Our box is actually, let's go over these features real quick. Let's see if we get our target first. Let's see if we get a quick target. All I want is $300. Looks like we're going to get it because that's support right there. Hadn't got it yet though. Now let me show you something else you can do with this that's pretty cool also. See another region right here, anybody? Move this in real time, like so. Turn this one off, and we'll turn this one on, and we'll see if we can go ahead and get this little region break. Because see, that is your a priori swing. So if they break this, they could actually head down. See what I mean? Because you had a high, a low, same high, higher low, and a higher high. So if they break this, we could easily head down. These are those swings that you're looking at, like this right here. See there? If they break that, we could head down. Everybody see that? These numbers right here are really good to look at. Let's see if we can get something. Okay, we got one contract. Let's just see if we can get down to this low. Now notice that I moved this region in real time, okay? And I can move this region anywhere I want it. I can actually fire this trade even earlier if I want to. See there? We just got the trade. Okay? Now that this is actually breaking these support levels, okay, we can actually go for a runner. Everybody see why? Because you actually broke your power meter 3, and these are those 15 swing strength type swings. Okay? Now let's see. We've got 3 on. Let's leave 2 on if it hits this. We'll go ahead and take 1 off. All right. Okay, we're in the trade. And we've got a runner going. Now, does anybody that trades see another trade setting up right as we speak? Anybody? Because I see it, and you could actually do this with your region. See that little resistance area right there? I'm going to do a short inside, and I'm going to touch +2. So if it gets within 2 ticks of the top of that box, what that means is that top of the box, touch +2 means it has to be inside the box. Okay, I can also turn this on. Since I didn't get it, I can go ahead and add if it takes out this support here too, if I want to. So see, you can do anything on the fly with the object trader, with the region feature. Okay, notice it didn't quite get up to my little resistance level. It might still. Let's find out if it does. I can even, well, I was going to restretch that, make it wait to give the trade, but it gave the trade anyway, so we're good. Okay. Everybody see how you can use this like in real time on your chart though? Now let's go over, I've already got this thing up to like 770. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to teach you how to use this box. Okay. Let's go ahead and just kill this, and I'm going to pause the data. Let's go over how to use the T and B buttons and what they actually mean. Okay, I'm going to draw the region really large so you'll get the idea of what we're talking about here. Okay, this is actually simply the top of the box. Okay, that's what that T stands for right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw that. As a matter of fact, we'll do text, and we'll just say that T is equal to top of the box of region. Okay, let's change that to something darker. And we can go with blue. We'll set it as our default. All right, so T is the top of the region. That's all that stands for right there is T for top of region. B is simply what? The bottom of the region, right? Let's don't copy this. Let's copy it and paste it. And then I'll change this one to bottom of the region. So B is equal to bottom of the region. Okay, and that's as simple as it gets. Okay, so when you look at a box, you have the actual line on the box itself, right? That's the top of the box. And you have the line on the bottom of the box. This is actually the way this algorithm works in here. It's basically, if you're trying to go outside a box, that means outside the box. So if I set that for touch plus 2, it would have to actually touch 2 ticks outside this box, plus 1 more tick for good measure. Okay? If I set it for the top of the box, let's just pretend that this breaks out. All right? Let's say that if I set this way, all right, this would mean that if this goes out the bottom of this box by 2 ticks, it would fire a short. If it went out of the box by 2 ticks this way, it would fire a long. Now, this is not the way we trade this. I'm just showing you how to read the top and bottom of the region. Okay? Now, touch just simply means exactly what it says. It just has to touch those ticks. 2 ticks outside the bottom of this box would fire a short. 2 ticks above the box would fire a long with long O and short O set. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to fire, let's say, for instance, I had something here and I wanted to fire a short here, but I don't want to wait for it to go outside the box. I want to go inside the box. Okay. That means that I just have to get within 2 ticks of the top of this box and roll 1 tick down. And that would fire a short inside because it's inside the box. You know, this is simply the top of the box, but if you do an inside type trade, that means it has to be inside the box. Okay? So basically it would fire the trade right in here and on a rollover. So these inside of a box just simply means that it's inside the region. Okay, if I did, for instance, let's say that this was a good support level and I wanted to buy the bottom, okay, but maybe I wanted to buy it a couple of ticks before this bottom, okay, I could simply say long inside, touch plus 2, and it would fire 2 ticks inside this box. Okay, so in other words, it would have to get within 2 ticks and go 1 tick back in your favor to fire the long. Okay. So that's simply the way it works inside the box or outside the box. Inside, all you got to do is remember I stands for inside and O stands for outside. Okay, we designed this pretty cleverly actually because, you know, for instance, you know, if I was going to short this area right here, let's say that this would have come up and kissed this area right here. I just simply do this. Turn that one off and do like a touch plus 2. If it came within 2 ticks of that resistance right there, I could fire a little short trade. See? And if it never gets there, then the trade never fires. Okay? I could also say, well, you know what? If this thing goes ahead and breaks out, I could go ahead and take a chance on a breakout. You know? I mean, I could do that also. And what that means is that if this trade, for instance, was to set up, it would either hit within 2 ticks of the top of this box and roll, or it would hit 2 ticks outside the bottom of the box on a breakout. Okay? Now that's the touch feature. Close just simply means the bar has to close. You know, a touch doesn't work. It has to actually close the bar. Now, if you're going to do, keep in mind on any kind of a closed bar though, if you got a bar closing, let's say right at the bottom of the box, then you've got literally the entire next closed bar before you get fired on your trade. If it closed inside the box and then, you know, 1 tick outside it happened to close the bar, it would still fire the trade. It just has to close outside the box by X ticks if you set it for that, or 0 ticks on a close. Okay? Anybody have any questions on this so far? So on a no bias trade, you can have both long disabled and short enabled check to go either direction. Well, it's not long D. Let me explain what these are. LD simply means long disabled. SD means short disabled, and RD means reverse disabled. Okay, so if I wanted to do, let's say for instance, we had called this trade in the room right here on a mid-band break. Okay, and we had said, take it either direction. Let's say that we saw this little swing here to the left. We said, okay, take it long outside and short outside on a close of a bar. Well, if you were looking at this in real time, it never went long, but it did go short. Okay, so this would stay on though, so you want to be sure and turn this off. Okay, because you know it's still looking for a long trade because we have a reverse feature built into this also. Okay, so if you get in a particular trade you like, just go ahead and turn the one off so it doesn't accidentally get you scaling or something like that. Okay, let's see. So basically, all these mean is the T and B of a box, top and bottom of a box, but this won't fire a trade. These would have to be turned on. You know, for instance, if I wanted a short trade, I've got to turn short enabled on. Okay, because that tells the algorithm to actually look for an order on however I set my box. This is the setting of the box. This is the trigger that fires it. Okay, I hope that's not confusing at all, because if it is, it's going to get a little bit more confusing, because I'm going to talk a little bit about using the scale out and scale in as far as that goes also. Does anybody have any questions on the T and B buttons before I go forward? Let's see, why don't you have to check the auto all types? Well, because you're not doing auto bill. Okay, on a region, you know, for instance, if I just wanted to trade this region, let's say that I set this for a short because I have a short background and I don't even want to go long. Okay, the moment this fires this trade right here on that bar, this would turn off. Okay, if you had this on auto, that would stay on. In auto mode, see, it actually turns this little auto trading on, and these will stay on until you turn this off, because that's an auto feature. Okay, and for instance, I could actually, even with auto, let's say for instance, if I had auto turned on, let's just go ahead and do that for the fun of it. Let's go ahead and just sell 2. Hope this trade goes my way, but I'm going to do it like we teach anyway. All right, and with this auto on, notice that I could actually even add to this trade by simply dragging my region. Now you got to be careful dragging it when this is turned on, because you will fire a trade. Okay, let's go ahead and turn our data back on. Let's see where it's at right now. I get it on 10 times, so let's see what it does. All right, let's say that I wanted to do a touch +2 right there. All right, now notice it won't do anything here. Okay, it'll only do it on the breakout, but I can actually move this live. See there? You know, what if I want to actually fire this? If it hits resistance, for instance, and then comes out 2 ticks, I can do that because I can actually move that box while it's live. Okay, watch and see if it'll go ahead and fire. How many contracts do we have? You've also got to go by your max contract. I got a total of 5, so we're good. See, if that goes 2 ticks outside the bottom of that box, it will fire. See, it hadn't gone 2 ticks yet. Touch plus 2. That's 1 tick. See if we can get one more. And then you have to have a what? Third one for confirmation. Okay, so it hasn't even triggered the trade yet because we're only a tick outside that box so far. Okay. Now, if I get leery and I don't want to take that trade, I could simply turn this off, or I could even move my box like that if I want to. You see what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that this is a way you should trade this. I'm just showing you how the box will work, even in real time. See, I moved that box so that if it gets 2 ticks outside it, it will still fire that extra 2 contracts. And I can move it again, by the way, anytime I want. See, the body of the candle is way up here. See it? I can even do that. See the body of the candle? Now it's outside it just a little bit. I'll show you how to do this. If that closes up, guess what I could do? I could actually go ahead and go. There it looks, there it just fired. See there how I did that? Now, would that be a good move? Well, it turned out on this one it was, because that was resistance. Okay? So we got us a nice little trade. See how you can move that in real time like that? Now, if you have the auto turned off, you would have to actually turn this on because we just fired a trade. Okay? Let's do it again without turning this on. I'm gonna show you how to do this if you want to even do it this way. Let's just go ahead and do this little trade and turn this on for touch plus 2, and then watch this go off. It won't though, because it's going to be at 5. We're going to do 4. If it goes to 5 contracts, this will not turn off because that's at max and doesn't have any reason to turn off because it won't fire anymore. Okay, let's see if we can get this. Keep in mind, I can still move this. I can still get it like that. You know why? Because all I have to do is touch outside that little region right there. Our program is pretty sharp. You know, these type of things that I wanted added to this 2.5 years ago, these are pretty cool little features. And I don't think a lot of people really catch the fact that this thing will do all this, because it really will do all this, you know, even moving it on your chart and everything. You know, if I decide I don't even want to trade this, all I got to do is turn that off. If then I change my mind and say, you know what, I think I'll go ahead and take it, I can turn it right back on. Okay, I can move my box to take the trade. See where little resistance is right there? I can get another contract if that goes one more tick down. See there? Just got your 4. That's how you can actually move the box in real time. Now, of course, we'd be moving our stop because we're not in real money, so obviously we'd want our stop just above that swing, I would think. Lower highs and lower lows, right? Okay. Anybody have any questions on that so far? Because we designed this newest region to where you can actually move it anywhere you want, anytime you want. Okay. Now, keep in mind, even if I move this around, like right now, it doesn't matter because I don't have any of these turned on. Okay. Let's go ahead and close the trade. Everybody see how to do that? Let's see if we can find a little support area or resistance area. I would say right here. And I'll go touch plus 2 right to that top, and I'll squeeze this like that. So I'm going to take the trade either here or here by turning this on short inside, touch plus 2. It will fire within 2 ticks, or it'll fire 2 ticks outside the box. Everybody see how that works? Let's see. Touch versus close, which do you prefer? Well, John, I actually use both. Charles, when he teaches his webinars, he is only a close type person. You know, if you ever get, for instance, to the point that, you know, you put on, say, 3 to 5 contracts or something like that, I don't like a 20 tick stop. I don't like a 10 tick stop on 5 contracts. You know, I like really, really tight. You know, if you're going to do, well, right now we've just been scalping, but we did break support, so now we're doing more than scalping. Okay. Now let me show you how to scale out of this, scale out of a trade also. I'm going to go ahead and yeah, let's go ahead and we'll put on, for the fun of it, we'll do, try to get up there to that top again. We're going to either fire outside or at the top of this little resistance area. See how they're trying to make a little lightning resistance right across here? And on this side, it's right here. The left side's right there, and on the right side is right there. So it's really close to where I got my box. Let's speed it up a little bit. Okay, we got a trade by going outside the box, which is fine. Now let me show you how to scale out by using the region. Okay, now we're in 3. Let's go ahead and do a total of, I'm going to put this here for a minute. That's too high, but so I can teach this. All right, because I want to show you how to scale out of this. Let's go ahead and sell like 3 more even, so that I'm at my total of 5. Now 3 plus 3 is not 5, but this is maxed out at 5 because that's what I've got my deal set at. But let's say, for instance, that you want to scale out of a couple of contracts. If they happen to go like above this right here, I could actually turn this on, long inside, touch +2, and scale out of 2. If they happen to go 2 ticks in here, we'll get rid of 2 contracts by simply scaling. Now notice I'm on the B button because that's the bottom of my region. So if that goes, and it didn't, so we're good. We didn't have to scale. Everybody see that? Let's see if we can get another scale. It may still scale. 5. Let's scale now if it goes 2 ticks above that little support resistance now. Just to show you how to do it. There you go, you got 3 now. See there? You can actually scale out of this thing also. Now if you put scale out on the little check mark, it'll continue scaling, and you really don't want it to do that. Okay? Because let's say, for instance, that I scaled again. Let's just go ahead and make it scale again. If it closes down, I'll just drag the box. Otherwise, we're going to get out of 2 by simply using our box to scale. See there? We just got out of another one. Okay, but if I turn this on, notice that's on. This will scale me out totally now, and I'd be flat. Now, your copy doesn't do that right now, but you're going to get this new copy, because when you get down to the last contract on your particular one, it will not go ahead and scale you out. And let's see if we can get, there we just got flat. Okay? See, because at first when I moved this, it was above the deal, so it came within 2 ticks again, and it got me out. Okay? That's how you use the scale out feature. Now, scale in is real simple, just like I showed there. You know, let's say, for instance, that you wanted to just short. Let's just go back to short only. We'll do touch +2. All right, we're in. I forgot to turn that short inside, but that's okay. All right. Now, if I want to scale into this, all I have to do is move this. Let's turn this one off. And let's scale in another one if it happens to take out the bottom of that box. Touch +2. See there? How it scaled in? I can scale again by just simply doing that, turn it back on. That's how easy you can actually do that. To me, it's easier than using Chart Trader and putting, you know, a buy, because let's say, for instance, you're on Chart Trader. The moment it touches it, it fires it. But notice that I had to actually touch +2. See how that turned off after that? Okay. I can actually add again if I want to. You know, if that little bar goes down, I could go ahead and do it again. Showing you just how to scale in. See how easy that is? Now notice that I'm using the bottom of the box. I could use the top of the box because I do have resistance right there, but it looks like it fired it outside the box, so we're fine anyway. Everybody see how to use the scale in feature now too. Like I say, this can be a pretty powerful little tool for you. What are the plans for NinjaTrader 8 and Object Trader? Dennis still a little ways away. The programmer is working on the indicators. He's got a few of them done, a handful or so. And even NinjaTrader is asking us that, which Object Trader is just going to take a little bit longer. I think it'll be the middle of the summer. Okay. What does everybody think about being able to scale in and scale out of these things with this? I mean, we're getting some monster type movement to begin with, and we're simply using our box to actually add a little bit. You know, when we draw those areas that we say, you know what, if it comes back to so-and-so, could we go ahead and add a contract? You know, turn this one off. Just keep clicking them till they go off. Maybe we want to get short if it goes up here to this little area right here, and it didn't do it, so we're fine. Okay. Once it breaks, we can do it again if we want to. Let's go ahead and move this. This is actually doing pretty good. Now I've got resistance right here and here. So I could actually move it like that. Turn that on. And I could even add one if it comes back to my little resistance area. It's already come to this one here, but it hadn't come to this one here. And I could technically even turn it on for adding this way. I just did a short inside, by the way, just a second ago. See how powerful this little box can be, though? This little box called region, you know, has been, I don't know, kind of not abused as far as that goes, but not really everything said about it that it can actually do. Because when we first built this region, we only did close trades. And I was sitting there one day and I said, man, I'd like this thing to do touch. I'd like this thing to do touch plus. I'd like this thing to do close plus. So we simply added this little plus minus feature right here to do just that. Okay. So this little region tool can be a very, very powerful tool for you. Okay. You can even utilize it. I notice we're at a support level for some reason. I had some lines drawn. But you can also use it to even get out of a trade completely. Let's say, for instance, we said, you know what? If this breaks my lightning swing right here, everybody can see that, right? Thrust, retrace, thrust. I could actually say, you know what? I'm going to get out of everything if that goes above that swing by 2 ticks. Or maybe I want to do a close. I can simply do a close if I want to. Okay. If that closes above that swing, see, you notice I hit a support line. I'm not sure exactly how important this support line is, but I'm gonna tighten this thing up now. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Now, can't you move this in real time and actually take this off the table if you happen to get lightning going back up, or maybe it goes a little above resistance, and I'll take off both if it happens to close above it. And there you go. You just use your region to scale out to a flat mode. Okay. Now we've already done a thrust trade. So what are we waiting for? Anybody? We're waiting for a retrace trade, right? So let's take our region off for right now. You can do it with insert, or you can just click the bar close and turn it back to region. That's what I usually do. All right. So where's our trade setup next? What about mid-band? You've also got resistance right here. I'm going to go ahead and put a region like so and do a short touch plus 2. Because predictor's saying it's going to be a little lower. And I'm also going to take it if it happens to break down, because notice it didn't quite get up there. There, we got the trade anyway. Everybody see that? Notice that it didn't go all the way up where I wanted it to, so my top one didn't fire, but my bottom one did. Okay? Now, if I hadn't had this turned on, would that have ever fired that trade? And the answer is no. Because remember, T button is the top of the region, B button is the bottom of the region. So you've always got to make sure you're utilizing whichever one of those that you want to utilize. All right, let's go ahead and protect this trade. We got 2 on, so we're going to go see if we get a little down candle so we can draw a lightning swing. Don't like that. Need a candle down, or it's going to stop me, period. If we get a candle down, I'm going to bring this box up, because that would be a lightning swing. Now, the one thing about lightning is that it will never trigger, so even my box I can't really trigger unless this bar closes down. There we go. I could go ahead and protect my trade like that, just in case this is a double bottom right here. Everybody see what I'm doing, right? Notice how this double bottomed a little bit? So I'm kind of utilizing lightning, because if I get a higher low, now if I keep going down, I'm fine. But if I do get a higher low here, then this lightning would change to green, but I'm going to teach you how to use the region instead of lightning, because this may be, if it takes out this swing, we're going to redo it, the box. Yep, double bottom again, so we'll wait for another lightning. It's either going to be here, or it's going to be higher, or we're going to keep heading down. It's a pretty good little feature, isn't it, Dennis? I love the features that we built into Object Trader. I don't think there's anybody on the market that's even got anything close to it. Now, I could technically, if I wanted to, well, I'll show you how to do this. We're going to kill it real quick if it goes against us, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to reverse a trade. If it takes out that swing right there, I'm going to go for 6 ticks and use my reverse feature. So if this goes 2 ticks above a lightning swing, and now my lightning swing is where? Right there, right? See the low, high, higher low so far. See if we can get 6 ticks. Now this is showing you a little bit more how to utilize this, even to use the reverse feature on it. And we may not get it, and that's fine, but if lightning changes direction, I'm going to show you how to very possibly get, let's just do it with like 3, even if it breaks that lightning. Because predictors saying we're coming all the way up to here if we break. Now watch, this will actually reverse if that does touch +2. There you go, just reversed. Everybody see that? You can utilize the features on this little trader when you start seeing like these double bottoms set up and things like that. You know, kind of trade it like lightning. Notice the lightning changed green also. All I'm trying to do is 6 ticks, and I'm going to protect the heck out of my stop just in case. Now, what would our next trade be? Anybody? We'd be doing another region, wouldn't we? That got me. That's all right. Notice that I had it so close to cost, though. I'm going to do it one more time. That's a higher low. See that? Low, high, higher, low, higher, high. I'm going to try to get 6 ticks. And I'm going to do it with touch +1. Just trying to do 6 ticks if we don't take out this swing right here. See why I'm doing that? By utilizing my region. Now this won't be a reverse trade because we're flat, so you turn reverse off. 1 tick. 1 tick. Nope. 1 tick. Come on. One more. One more. There you go. Tighten my stop just in case. Willing to do what? 3 contracts for 6. Let's see, that'd just be $90 to begin with. Looks like we might get it though. See how you can utilize this little box? I mean, when we talk about boxing in and that room and everything, does everybody understand that this little box is designed to trade exactly the way you, the trader, want to trade it? You can scale in. I showed you how to do that. You can scale out. You can reverse a trade, which we did just a minute ago. You can use close, touch, touch plus, and close plus. And does anybody have any questions at all on how to use the T and B buttons? Because that's the most common question that I get. People will say, you know, I've got these turned on, but my box isn't firing. Well, the box won't fire until these are turned on. You have to use long enabled, short enabled, or reverse. I just got taken out again. I'm going to try it one more time. Low, high, higher, low, still higher, low. I'm going to see if I can get that back. Now keep in mind, I'm just doing this to show you how this works. I don't think I'd be trading this actually, but I want to see if the little box will work. Stop revenge trading. No kidding. Well, you know, truthfully, if you do the revenge trading on this, if you got stopped with 4 ticks on 2 of them, you'd probably want to do, you know, like some extra contracts to give an example, and then tighten the heck out of your stop. That's what you'd want to do. Okay. But this is more to show you how to utilize the region, because frankly, we haven't had a long trade. So I wanted to kind of show you how to use the long feature on it too, because the long feature does work. There we go. We might get this one. There we go. I think we're going to get this one. Not yet. Not yet. There you go. Got it. All right. Now, where's our next trade? Because believe it or not, you're already seeing it on the chart because, okay, you have a low, a high, a lower low. This is resistance right here. So couldn't we do something like that? Let's see if we get something here. I'm trying to go with resistance. Now, by the way, this is something else we wrote into Object Trader too. If this was to blow through here without ever ticking back, this will never fire this trade. Okay? So that's another feature on it that I like pretty well too. I'm going to go ahead and turn that one off. There's a little support right there. See it? Little lightning support. I'm going to go ahead and add, just for the fun of it, if it goes ahead and breaks, that little support level right there. You can see it right across here. See that line? Let's see if it works. Object Trader can be your best friend ever. There you go. Just got a trade. That's a little fast. And we're good to go. Everybody see how you can utilize this little trader? Now keep in mind, I probably wouldn't be going like 5 contracts a go with this being choppy like this. What I mainly wanted to show you though is how you can actually utilize the box. You know, and keep in mind, you don't even have to position the box. If I'm in 5 like this right here, I can easily just go ahead and cover 2 of them, or even like 1 more, so that I don't take a chance of that popping back above cost. You see what I mean? So, you know, if you do jump into extra contracts, don't let them, you know, don't put your stop all the way up here with 5 contracts. You know, what you'll want to do if you ever add contracts, to give an example, if I wanted to trade 1 more, if it breaks, see how that just kicked in 3? Okay. I can utilize this little feature like this even and kick in again if I want to. This looks like it's still rolling over to me. But when we talk about rolling over in the room, to give an example, isn't it great to be able to box it in with a region? Now, the time trader will do all this too. Somebody asked earlier about time trading. Let me see. I thought I saw that. The time trader, for whoever was asking that, is basically it's going to draw a region on your chart at a preset time, but it still gives you the opportunity to size the region, move the region wherever you want it, and turn on the features to fire the trade. Now, you can go into Object Trader and have regions turn on automatically. I don't advise it. But right here in the code, see where this says start long enabled, false, start short enabled, false? That's so that these are turned off. Let's see, how do you box a rollover, how you take one? That was actually it just then, Brian, on your question. You want to see if we can get another one? I'll just close this out. Let's see if we can get another rollover trade. Let me get this region out of the way. We're going to have to wait for a thrust and a retrace, but let's see if we can get something. I'll speed this up. Okay, there's a thrust and a retrace. See it? Thrust and retrace. So what if we were calling this trade right here on a rollover? Could we be ready for this trade as Charles and I say, you know what? We've got resistance right here. If we're going to head down, we need a lower high than this, so we don't want to take this out. So could we size our region, for instance, like, let's turn this off. Start getting our region ready, right? I've got a little bit of support right across here. See it? On the left. So I could actually click my region and size it. Okay? So now I could actually do, okay, let's do this. Touch +2. We're going to do one, and then we'll do another one if we get a breakout. Let's see if we can do a box in on this one. Oh, Brian, on your question, let's don't do the top one. Because when you box it in, you're going to actually take the rollover trade, which means it's going to have to break out. Okay, so let's leave that off. We're going to only go through the bottom of the box. Now, I like turning on the top of the box because I'd be looking for this trade right here at that line. This is where I'd be looking at it. Let's see if we can get something. There's your little rollover trade. Didn't trigger it. Notice that it's only one tick out. So, let me show you this real quick. Isn't that a great feature on Object Trader? Notice that didn't trigger that because that went 2 ticks out of that box, but it didn't fire the 3rd tick. And by the way, you can actually go ahead and resize your box when it does that. That's what we talk about when we talk about resizing a box. Okay? Now, rollover would be here to me. See it? Remember, you're talking about like a 1, 2, 3 reversal? Let's see if we can get something. We've got a bar up. We need a bar down. And if it breaks up here, we'll look for a long, if it breaks above here, but keep in mind that it would have to break here, pull back and kiss. Not that high, but it would have to break. And then it would have to take off. So, okay, there we go. You got a 1, 2, 3. You can even resize this right there underneath that swing. That would be a rollover trade. Now, what if I just wanted to do, just in case this isn't going to actually, okay, we got it. All right, what if I want to add one, though, by simply turning that on, and if it takes out that little swing, I could add one. See how easily I can do that by simply moving my box in real time? Now, I'd be firing the trade right in through here myself, but we're going to do a rollover trade instead. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 if it rolls over. Now, keep in mind when Charles talks about a trade like this, he wants to do a close. Now, if I set this for close, this has to close outside this box. Now, let me show you why I don't like close all the time. I think Charles pretty much hits market. Okay, this is a good example right here. This has to close. This might actually fire. If it closes outside that box, it will fire. But sometimes they can close inside the box, and then you have a whole bar has to form to get your trade. Now, if this bar closes up and another one closes down, it is not going to fire that trade until it comes outside the box. Let's watch and see what it does. Yeah, we're going to get it. Maybe. Yep, got it. Okay. See how you box that in, Brian, on your question? And the beauty, like I said, of utilizing this is you can actually box it in. Remember the first one we had boxed in like this because we were looking for this little 1, 2, 3 rollover. And then we boxed it in here because we wanted to add a contract. And we ended up being able to add a contract, didn't we? Okay. Now, how would y'all like to have an auto box where it would actually draw the box? And I told the programmer I want it to actually, if we don't get, like, let's say, for instance, the box is bigger. I want to get that 1, 2, 3 rollover when it comes like to mid-band, like this trade was. I want that trade right there on that bar. That's where Charles and I like to take it, is on that third bar reversal right there. On this one right here, this one was up, down, never took out the low, see it? So you went up again, you went down, so you have an up bar, down bar, you have to take that out right there, and it did. Everybody see that? It has to be a 1, 2, 3 reversal. So this webinar was recorded. We're running out of time, by the way. I'm going to be talking quite a bit with the programmer because I want to get this. Basically, this is going to be real-time lightning, that you're going to be able to see a box drawing on your chart when you have this in a new mode that's going to be called auto region, or maybe, I don't know what we'll call it, but anyway, it'll be another region. And when you have it in that mode, when we add that feature, it's going to keep drawing this box. For instance, it would be drawing this box like right now, like right under here, for instance, okay? And it would automatically do that. And if you had it set for, using your mid-band feature, which is this is short, then it would never let you turn on the long, okay? But it won't automatically turn on your short either. So we're gonna leave it to where, you'll be able to have it to where you won't accidentally get in a long, or you can just turn this feature off. Okay, let's see if that fires just for the fun of it. That would be like an auto box is what that would be. This thing's really heading down, wasn't it, on gold? Where would your box draw now? Anybody? Right up there at resistance. Wouldn't you think? There's a 1, 2, 3 right there. Actually, you would have done it right under here. I wasn't able to move my box in time. Up, down, right there when it closes. Got your close, so you're heading down. So we'll work on that. But in the meantime, does everybody think they'll be able to use this box a little bit better than they've been in the past? Because I wanted to try to get you to where you'd know every feature about it, how to use the TMB buttons, how to use the close plus, the touch, and the touch plus. Okay, how to make sure that you're not getting in a trade just because these are turned on. You have to turn on long enabled, short enabled, one of the two. Okay, and you also have to know what side of the box am I really looking at. Do I want an outside trade? Do I want an inside trade? And I showed you how to do that also. Okay, so powerful little tools there. And that's not even going over some of the other features, and we'll start talking about some of these in the next few webinars. I'm going to post this webinar on the training area and also on the regular webinar area. That way people that come in that want to know how to box in, they're going to be able to clearly see how to box in. If I want to get rid of that box, I just simply hit insert and it goes away. Okay? All right, thanks everyone for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. And let's see. Oh, James, on your question, this is when we do this on my webinar night, we utilize market replay. And the reason for that is because we could be a whole hour in this thing and sometimes on certain instruments not even move 2 bars. So what my webinars are for is for teaching how to use the product and everything. Now in the room, when we're calling those trades in the room and everything, saying box it in, that's what we're doing. Okay? Do I always take a touch plus 2? Charles waits for the close out of the box. Well, keep in mind, though, that sometimes, some people may just draw on their chart and then they see it come out the box and they just hit market order. You can do that also. We design the tools to use, though. They're there for you to use. All right, no more revenge trading. Time to go. We did pretty well on these trades, though, by the way. All right, thanks, everyone. Will it draw multiple boxes, or when a new box comes, the last one goes away? It's going to actually move them on your question. Kenneth, on your question, it's going to start with a box, okay? And then if it happened to go up, it'll draw it higher, and then you'll actually, kind of stair step, and then you'll get that rollover. Like over here, to give an example, if you would have been drawing a box, let's say under here, see, this would be where your box is, so that would have fired. This one over here wouldn't have fired till under here, because you basically didn't have candles down, candle up. You got to have that so that you can actually draw the box. Still got a good trade, though. All right. Oh, and I'll go over how to use the exit on close, Bill, on your question. And I can do it real quick if you want. Exit on close simply means that if I put this on exit on close, it has to actually close above that line. Exit on close. Now, this price is not with my broker. This price is. Okay, so in case I lost internet or something like that. So what exit on close simply means is that it has to close the bar above on a short or below on a long. That way you don't get wicked out of a trade. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you in the morning. Good night, everyone.